Regular meeting for the Hastings Planning Commission for November 14th, 2022, regular meeting agenda. And I'll call the meeting to order. First up, approval of the minutes from October 24th, 2022, regular meeting. Any corrections? If not, those will be considered to be approved. Moving on, no public hearings, other actions. Confluence Development, variance 2022-56 monument sign in DC zoning district, 200 2nd Street West. Justin Fortney. Justin?
Thank you very much. This variance is for the number of freestanding signs that can be located at a property that's zoned DC, downtown core. It also applies to properties that are in the 2nd Street Historic District. I'll just go over what a variance is. Essentially, it's a special approval to allow something to occur with different standards than is normally required for other similar properties in the city. In order to allow a variance, we have to have findings that shows that that property has unique circumstances that would create practical difficulties for that applicant to do what they wanted to do on that property, and that those differences or the findings that are made for that property wouldn't be applicable to other properties in the same district. And this is a zoning map showing the purple areas are zoned downtown core. The downtown core district was written to have development criteria that would make development in those areas fit in with the development pattern of the historic downtown, with buildings that are built at 0 lot lines and have mixed use and similar features. And it wasn't anticipated that any buildings would be in that district that had front yard space, and so there just was no allowance for monument signs written into that district. It was appropriate to rezone the former Hudson manufacturing building downtown core because of the mixed use that was proposed in there. At the time, we didn't consider, whether or not a monument sign would be allowed there. But in the past, you probably recall that there was a monument sign in a semi-similar location to what's proposed now. And we didn't consider making any amendments to the zoning district to allow monument signs because we don't believe that a similar situation would come up. Oops, keep going. So this is an aerial picture of the site. You can see with that red mark is approximately the area where that sign would be located. It's kind of at the entrance to the parking lot under the bridge and adjacent to some on-street parking in between drive and limited parking in front of the building. This is a site plan showing that same general location. And on the top, it's kind of grainy, but you can see the former Hudson sprayer sign that was in the middle of that courtyard. Now it's going to be a little bit closer to the corner because the parking and Circle Drive that is included in front of the building. And this is a graphic of the proposed monument sign. It's less than the most restrictive monument sign allowance for any district, including residential. It's not very large. As you can see from the top architectural drawing, the foundation is just as large as the top of the sign. I think that's it. So staff went through the findings in the staff report that are required to approve a variance, but essentially, it was determined that the issue was not caused by the applicant. It's not being requested specifically for monetary gain, and it doesn't create a dangerous or negative appearance or a situation you wouldn't find in that general area. It doesn't create a unique situation, and it's not an applicable scenario that would happen with other properties in that district. For those reasons, staff is recommending approval and subject to the conditions in the staff report, which are pretty general, that the proposed, what's constructed is consistent with what was presented, and that there's a one-year sunset clause that would require construction within 1 year, or the variance would be null and void. With that, I can answer any questions. I can also check to see if there's anyone on Zoom that would be interested in speaking.
Okay, thanks, Justin. A quick question on the view from street picture with the red arrow and the purple line, that one. Somebody isn't going to have to pull forward through that crosswalk, are they, to see to the right to make sure that there's no cross traffic?
Well, I think they might pull through there regardless, because they're going to be pretty far back from the street. As you can see on the left, there's on-street parking that's angled there.
Yep.
And especially if there's cars parked there, they're not going to be able to see around those until they get past that crosswalk.
Sure.
The sign is going to be angled there, so it's not going to be, 8 feet of blocking vision, and 45-degree angle, maybe be, 4 feet or something like that. It's around, 4 feet tall, so, it's not quite as tall as a car, but if you're sitting in a car, you probably wouldn't be able to see past it.
Okay, commissioners, any other questions? Commissioner Matzke?
Are there any other buildings in the downtown district that would be in the similar situation where they'd go, well, hey, he's got a sign, why can't we have a sign like this? And that, this is a variance. Are there any other?
We went through the properties that are zoned DC now and the downtown, and they were all built to the lot lines. That's a requirement of that zoning district, that when they are constructed. So I think the only one that would be a possibility is if the post office ever left and somebody redeveloped that building. They have a little bit of a yard on the side, but not this much, and that was the only one.
Okay, commissioners, any other questions? Commissioner Tyken?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. What kind of sign is it? Is it just going to be a standard illuminated sign, or is it going to be LED, or?
According to the graphics here, it's going to be a masonry sign. I don't think it's going to be lit internally. I don't know if, Rob, if you want to come up here and explain the sign.
Do we have any standards around LED?
Yeah, we do, sure. I'm not sure what all they would.
And when I say LED, I'm talking like the moving ones that you can change and that.
Evening, Commissioners. I'm Rob Barsman, owner's rep for the Confluence team. So there is some plan for lighting. So the panels themselves are like a Corten metal with cutout with the logos. Someone would say Confluence. The smaller panel would be for the restaurant, and then the lower banner would be for our other tenant, the Chamber, that will also be moving into the building. So then they would have some back lighting just to glow through the cutout.
Okay, so they won't be moving or?
No.
Gotcha. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So,
Go ahead. You still have the floor.
if we allow this, could they put a LED sign in down the road?
I'd have to check for sure, but I'm pretty sure that in the downtown core and historic district, you can't have LEDs, neon, or flashing lights.
But for allowing a variance, would it allow them to do that, or?
Not if that's not allowed in the district, they would have had to,
They would need another variance for
yeah,
that?
correct.
Okay. That's all I got. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Sure. Commissioners, any other questions, comments? If not, I'll take a motion.
Mr. Chair. I'll make the motion to approve variance 2022-56 based upon the two conditions.
Motion to approve, Commissioner Halberg, second.
Second.
Commissioner Brown, second. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. All right, next is other business. Thanks, Rob. Next is other business. Justin?
Yeah, at the November 7th city council meeting, the therapy ops site plan was approved for the therapy center up along South Frontage Road. And I think that's about it. Coming forward to the planning commission, I think there's going to be an application for a special use permit for something in the industrial park, but I'm not sure if that's going to be, it probably won't be in time for our next meeting, but we'll see. That's all I have.
Okay, Commissioners, any other business? If not, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved?
All right, Commissioner Tyken, second.
I'll second.
Commissioner Matzke, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?